Hello and welcome to some game update notes for November 12th for the Everquest game. So today, it's a doozy. We got we got some new things just randomly released today, and we got some other stuff. So let's go take about this. So I haven't read over this version of the patch notes. I read over the test server one, so I think there's some more changes here than what there was before. So let's get into this. So highlights: added the ability to lock items in bags from being moved or accidentally sold with a shift right click and inventory slot. We'll take a look at like this in game right here in a minute. We'll see how this works. Added a new item flag cache loot. We'll take a look at this in a second. This will show up in the UI section more below. Cleric, Druid, and Shaman add more common area effect types that the Divine Response, Nature's Response, and Responsive buff lines can react to. This should enable them to respond to many more spells used in raids. Now, I think this is a response to the nerfing of the shower spell line. I think that's kind of where this is going. It's kind of bringing out giving a more AoE healing to all the classes, not just Shaman. I think that's kind of like the thought process behind that, but I don't know. Items: removed Vashir from some items they should not have been able to be added to. Tribute benefit: Harmony of Essence. This is a raid tier tribute. Now tier 3 adds 700 health, mana, and endurance. Added the Merchant's Loot Satchel to the marketplace. It only holds cash items. Now, let's pop over here to the game. We'll take a look at this. There's some nice stuff in the thing now. Some bags. So here's the Merchant Loot Satchel. It's a 40 slot bag, and it only handles cash loot. So cash loot items. I don't even think I have any on me here. What a character is this, Holdridge? Yeah, he doesn't have any, so that's quest party interaction. Let me see here. Does anybody have a cash loot item on them? Those are all collectible. Yeah, cash loot's not really a thing. I don't really think. Like at the high levels, it's all platinum. So I don't think I have any on any of these guys. Yeah. Oh wait, maybe this one. No, that's trade skill. So there's an item somewhere that is flagged with cash loot. So, and the bag you can buy is 1,000 currency. So I think that's like $10. I think anyway. So definitely interesting if you need. I think there's more of a focus on TLP because all I get is ore and I get rotting items from all this extra loot right now. But there is no cash items because we just get, you know, like 400 platinum split by the group, right? Per kill. So that's cool. The flag was added to the items, so that's good. Augments can now be inserted or removed from items while they're in a keyring. Now, this was like, okay, that's pretty neat. Like, you can't really put any items in the keyring, but then we'll talk about what they also released today here in a second that goes with that, the equipment keyring. But we'll get to that here in a second. It's got its own page. Spells: Rogue corrected a bad description in the assault line of abilities that implied it added a percentage of melee damage rather than points of minimum melee damage. Cleric, Druid, Shaman added more common effect abilities to the response line of spells. Now, we just covered that earlier. Enchanter removed unimplemented illusion buff spell from the output file. Another place it was visible in game. So I guess there was an illusion that was unobtainable that was listed. So AAs: Rogue updated the class AA Mirloclar's Regar all ranks to use skill damage to spell effects so that it can stack with abilities like Executioner Discipline. Progression servers pets will now correctly gain social aggro from their leaders, hate list, and on a countered lock event things. So like the servers where you can't like just go and randomly take someone's mob, right? See here, increased the maximum total number of purchasable character slots to 9. Improved background loading performance of textures and animation, reducing time it takes to zone and spawn in characters. Improved game performance while using log interval 0 in intense combat situation. Texture loading can now utilize more CPU threads for compression. Client core variables in EQ client must be deleted or set to -1 for best performance. Alright, UI corrected the position of the power source power meter on the item's icon, so that's fantastic. That looked fixed for me already. Made faction link only affect the name in the consider message on a rare occasion it's used. Fixed hot buttons processing left and right clicks. Also cleaned up how they process key modifiers when applying keybinds so they're no longer awkwardly passed when activated. Added a fix for occasionally being unable to perform certain actions such as casting spells. I think that happens with my bard more often than I would like. I cleaned up a new UI of the claim window to be less irksome. There's some weird layering issues with that because the pop-up for it would pop up behind the window and you wouldn't see it. So it's kind of a... Hopefully they fix that. Corrected how the augment skills were being shown on the item display window. Increased the total number of open bag slots that can be rendered. Alright. Added the ability for locks inside of a bag, or the ability to lock slots inside of a bag, bank, or shared bank. You can unlock the ability with a shift right click. You'll see a red lasso around the lock slots. You can also change this color in the options, and it will change the color of the message. Added new flag cache loot with items with this flagger intended solely for selling for coin. Appropriate vendors will have a button to sell all in your inventory at once. So what do we got here? We got the options window updated, the merchant window updated, the keyring window updated, the inventory window updated, the find item window updated, the bandolier window updated, the inventory window personas updated, and the claim window updated. All right, so that's the patch notes. Now let's jump over here. So they added the equipment keyring. I've been talking about this a little bit over here and there. We got this awesome frog lock here. So the equipment keyring is to help alleviate the mess that is armor pieces in your bag. And if you saw any of my characters on FV, you'll know this is definitely something I'm going to make major use of. But, sorry, my dogs are going crazy. This system is not solely for personas either. If you're a fashion questnista, carry multiple looks just in case this system works for you, so you can do that. Equipment keyring is an independent of persona system and other features. It will hold items the character can wear except for consumables and ammo. The main purpose is ring let you automatically pull items out of the ring when loading equipment sets. Items that you would be placing in your bag instead of the keyring instead. So that's very fantastic. See here, initially comes with 30 slots and you do have to purchase it. So let me pop over here. That's not him. So I purchased this already on Hamrock here. And I have my Shadow Knight's gear. So this is all my Shadow Knight's gear already in here. Now, he's a persona. He is a... Personas are over here. So he is a level 100 persona. So if I go like this and I just swap, right? If we click here. Now, the one thing I did notice is that I do have additional projector item sources in my bag. So those are getting swapped every time. But that is one thing I did notice. But if I swap here to my Shadow Knight, right? It will swappy swap. There we go. So now we go that, open back up the keyring, and all my items are in here. So perfectly swapped. Nothing in my main bag here with nothing. This is the first slot that gear would go into. Nothing in there. And all my gear is on. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I do have, I'm using 23 slots. Now, you can see here there's 2 protector sources in here. So that's going to be kind of the thing that is gonna take that. I gotta start putting these in my bank, so they don't get swapped every time. But that could have been, you know, just an issue that they need to work on, since it's not grabbing the exact item ID. It's just grabbing that item by name, I would assume. But if we can swap back here, everything from my Shadow Knight should go pop into my my thing, like just like that. Now you can buy more slots. They do have a value to them. Services. So here for 50 slots for $26.98 with gold membership, 25 shots for 14, and $4.99 or $3.99 for 5 slots. So there are options to buy more slots, and depending on how you do your personas, right? I calculated if I did a persona for every single one of my things, right, I would need at least 300 slots, like 330, I think it was. But that's not accounting for like any duplicate items that I would share, like across, like say Shadow Knight Warrior and Paladin, right? They would all share the non-visible items. Now the ring would get shared across all personas, the neck and the cloak, all personas. The belt would only, you know, you'd have a DPS belt, you have a caster belt, you have a healer belt, so you'd have some items that would not get shared and stuff like that. Weapons would not be shared and things like that. So you wouldn't need exactly 300 slots. Like you could probably get away with like 100, 150 if you had max personas. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about this. I've been playing around with it here for a few minutes while the server's been up. I have no idea what this red line means on my experience, but we'll figure that out later. Now, another thing is the locked inventory slots. So let's take a look at that in game here. We'll talk about it in a second. So I can lock, like say this thing here, and I cannot pick this up anymore, right? So it's locked. I can't move it. So I can move this, I can lock it, and then I can no longer move it. So that's kind of a neat thing. It locks it, so if you go to the vendor and try to sell everything in a bag, it won't sell those items. So that's kind of cool. You shift right click and to enable and disable, and the comes down here. It tells you what slot it is and everything. And so you kind of can do that kind of thing. Now, me personally, I don't know why I would want to do this, because I don't believe it works with like putting something back to where you had it, right? Like go here to bandolier, right? So I'm currently dual wielding. Let me lock my two-hander, right? So I go to two-hander and I activate that. Unable to do it. So, and then if I look here, I didn't put a weapon on, right? So there's some things there. I'm just not 100% sure. I mean, I also believe like if you lock it, right, and then you right click it, you can't eat it. Well, actually you can eat it, can't you? You can eat it and consume it while it is there. So there's a few caveats to this, right? Items in the bag can be locked. They have the outline, right? We saw that. If the bag contents are put into another bag, anything locked will remain in the original bag. That is a bonus right there. If the contents of the bag are sold, locked items will not be sold. If the bag with locked item slot is moved, even shared bank, it will remember the slots in the bag. Items in locked slots can still be consumed. Right? Okay, there we go. And can still be used, such as clickies. All right, so if you're not using the clicky keyring, you can lock items and they won't move there. You can add stacks to locked items, so that's pretty nice. And if a locked item becomes empty for any reason, for example, a food stack is fully eaten, that item slot will automatically be unlocked. You can choose to include equipment from locked slots when loading equipment from personas or bandoliers. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Ah, there it is. They added a button down here. Okay, so if we do this again, and then we go here to two-hander, activate. So my weapons go there. The locked slot is gone. And if we go back there, activate, it's back there. Now, if I put this back here, it is unlocked. So, not 100% sure. I would assume like I wish it seems like I'm locking the item, but I would like it that if I lock this two-hander right here, and it remembers that's where that item goes, right? Like I know there's Minecraft mods where it saves, you know, the inventory of your backpack, right? And so that would be kind of a cool thing there, but nonetheless, pretty neat. So that's there. Like if like all like slots, if it becomes empty, it will unlock. All right, so there we go. So we got new features today from those. I mean, this is fantastic. This one here, the equipment keyring, is fantastic. Like I mean, look at me. Let me look at my monk here, right? He's a Shadow Knight, a bard, and a monk right now, right? I plan on doing all the different classes with him, so I'm going to be filling all those up, and having all those different slots is going to be very good for that. So, yeah. So there we go. That is the current patch notes for November. Very, very, very nice. I didn't expect the equipment keyring to come out now. Which is fantastic. So that is really good that they did that. So that's pretty cool. So that's fantastic. And we got the locked slots. So I'm sure there's a use case for the locked slots. I'm just not seeing for my personal use, but I'm sure there's people out there. Like I mean, I can think of this, right? So I have this bag here. I'm always taking everything from this bag and dumping it into my storage, right? To my trade skill depot. But I could do this. lock. Now those two items will never go in, and I will no longer eat anything in my trade skill bag, right? That is kind of cool. Now another thing with that is I could now, instead of having trade skill bags, I could just get rid of the trade skill bag and put another 40 slot bag there. Lock my food, which would, you know, be order this whatever this nonsense is here. I can lock these things there. They're both meals, so I'm drinking milk. I'm a milk drinking Ixar, right? Put those there, and then I will not consume my, you know, my void fruits and stuff like that. So that to me is probably the use case that I would use it for, and it would just take me to reorganize my bags and get rid of these small trade skill bags, honestly. But you know, hopefully this weekend I'll have that actually taken care of with the hunter raids. So. Definitely, there we go. That's everything I got for this patch, and some news. Gonna be 2 videos today probably. So I already did another news video for all the other news items that are out there. I don't think there's anything else. Let's double check one last time before I call for the day. No, there's some. Oh yeah, Reign of Fear wallpaper that got released today. Let's take a look at that. Hopefully I open that. And I thought I saw something else in the launcher, but it does not look like it. So Reign of Fear wallpaper. Oh yeah, we saw this. Yeah, this is pretty cool. You got like Terrace Thule. I got someone I don't know, some Paladin. Looks like Brill. And then you got a Centaur there. So pretty cool. Definitely a nice little thing. I wish when they did these wallpapers, they were like, you know what? Go buy the expansion. You know, go buy the Reign of Fear expansion collector's edition, get some new items and stuff like that. Because you know what, I would buy them because I buy everything. But definitely that's that. So that's the game notes for November 12th, 2025 for Everquest. Thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.